I'm going to be revealing the dark truth behind the movie Frozen. In late 2013, a new Disney film took the world by storm. This accomplished film would spawn a sequel, many spin-off series, and millions of dollars worth of merchandise, including the costume that I bought for this video. Oh my god, I just realized I'm supposed to be doing makeup, right? Should I start now? Wow, okay, What many people don't know is that this is loosely based on, a fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. He's always had an interest in, what the f***?
3 weeks later.
And this fairy tale was called The Snow Queen, which Disney had always had an interest in turning it into a movie for the big screen. So Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee decided to take this fairy tale and turn it into their own adaptation for Disney. And don't get me wrong, they changed a lot, but some of the main factors were kept the same. So let's break it down. So this movie takes Andersen's book and adds that Disney whimsical flair, you know, with some lovable characters, some musical numbers. But despite the major differences, both versions are dealing with a frozen heart, and how do we solve this? So The Snow Queen was written by Andersen in late 1844. So that was a hot minute ago. And Andersen decided he was going to base the appearance of the Snow Queen after someone in his life that had wronged him. And that person was an opera singer named Jenny Lind. Andersen had a big fat crush on her, and she did not reciprocate those feelings, and therefore he was wronged. So he was basing the villain in his story off of a woman that just didn't like him back. But go off, King. And this was a way of him coping with his rejection, was to write her in as the villain. A bit obsessive, but I guess we will let it slide because it helped Andersen create this beautiful fairy tale that soon gave us the Disney classic Frozen, which is actually my favorite movie. I went and saw it in 2013 for my 11th birthday. So this tale discusses the struggle between good and evil. And so the story begins with the devil who takes the form of an evil troll. So this is not like the little stone trolls that we love from the movie Frozen. And so the devil in this scene is creating a magic mirror that when a person looks at their reflection, it shows them the evil parts of them. And his plan with this mirror is he's gonna take her up to heaven and trick God and the angels into looking into the mirror. So he's on his way up there, and the higher he gets, the more the mirror begins to shake and feel unsteady in his hands. And so it eventually slips from his hand and falls all the way down to earth, splitting into billions of pieces. And some of the pieces of this mirror were no larger than a single grain of sand, and this allowed them to get into the eyes of people on earth and into their hearts. And this results in everyone having frozen hearts, meaning that they only see the evil nature in everyone that they come across, just like the mirror had. So that little scene was almost a prequel to the Disney tale. Like how did the hearts get frozen on Earth? And now we cut to our characters that loosely Anna and Kristoff are based off of. So we have a little boy named Kai and a little girl named Gerda. And they are neighbors, and they live right next to each other. They only have to step over the other house's gutter to get to the next house, so they are very close. And those two, they just absolutely love spending time together, and their favorite thing to do together is working on their window box garden. So cute. And one evening when they're hanging out, Kai's grandmother decides to tell them a story. And the story she tells them is about the Snow Queen and her snow bees. So you're probably thinking, snow bees? Hell's a snow bee? Let me tell you. So the snow bees are snowflakes that look and act like bees. And just like honeybees, how they have a queen, all of these snowflakes will cluster together around their queen, the Snow Queen. And one winter, Kai's just hanging out, looking outside his window, and he sees the Snow Queen standing in front of him, beckoning for him to come to her. So obviously after seeing this outside his window, he's terrified. So he runs and hides from her. So his hiding was successful, and the seasons start to change, time goes by, and everything's just peachy. And then unrelated, spring comes, and Gerda just learned a song about roses. And this is a very special song to Gerda because the song about roses reminds her of the love that she has for Kai, because they tend to their little window garden box together and they have roses in it. Remember that. But their love for each other quickly changes when, remember that mirror? You know, the mirror that got dropped all over? Yeah, the splinters from the mirror got into Kai's heart, so he now could only see the evil in Gerda. So Kai becomes very hateful and only sees the evil in everybody, including his lover, Gerda. Well, technically they're not lovers yet, they're just besties. And in the winter, you know, Kai's just going about his life, and he comes across the Snow Queen once again. But this time, he doesn't run away. She kisses him. Not once, she kisses him twice. Like, okay, Snow Queen, go off. But these are no ordinary kisses, these are magical kisses. So the first kiss makes him completely numb to the cold, so the cold never bothered him anyway. Get it? Frozen? Yeah? No? Okay. And the second kiss made him completely forget about Gerda and his family, so this kiss was the memory eraser kiss. Wouldn't that be a nice skill to have? Just give someone a fat smooch and make them forget about whatever you wanted. And now the next thing she reveals to him could cause him some trouble in the future. She says if she were to kiss him for a third time, this kiss wouldn't, you know, numb him from the cold, this wouldn't erase his memory, this kiss would kill him. And after telling him this, she takes him away to her palace. I wonder if this Snow Queen had to sing a little song to build her palace. And so Kai had gone out to go sledding, and that's where he was last seen. So the town notices that he never came home from going sledding, and they conclude that he died in a nearby river after looking and having no luck of finding him. So Gerda hears about this and is obviously heartbroken, but she doesn't 100% buy it. So she goes to the nearby river in search of her friend Kai. She searches far and wide, but there is no sign of Kai anywhere. And now apparently this is a talking river, because Gerda eventually offers the river her brand new red shoes in exchange for Kai. I don't quite understand the logic here. The talking river, why a river would need shoes. Rivers don't wear shoes. But that was her plan. So the river refuses to take the gift for unknown reasons. And that's also when Gerda realizes that Kai didn't drown in the river over the winter. And with this information, she asks the river, and the river agrees to send her in the direction of Kai. So apparently this is an all-knowing river. They know where Kai is. So they send her away, and this is where her adventure begins, in hopes of finding her best friend. So now we're starting to see the similarities between this tale and Frozen, because these are two very close individuals and they're being ripped away by something icy. But one major difference that we're already seeing in this tale versus the Disney adaptation of Frozen is how differently the Ice Queen is portrayed. Right, so in Frozen, Elsa's written to be the protagonist, and her basic struggle is learning to control her powers. But in Anderson's novel, the Snow Queen is written to be the antagonist, and she's a very frightening, demanding figure who is coming after our two main protagonists, Gerda and Kai. But Disney really had the idea to change the Snow Queen from being the antagonist to the protagonist and making her related to our main character, to make the novel a lot more child-friendly and make it a movie that highlights the bond between two sisters and the true meaning of familial love. While the story is clearly different in both versions, the heart remains the same. And this is our completed Ice Queen look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And now, Gerda's journey is where it starts to get interesting. We have a lot of similarities, we got a lot of differences. There's no talking snowman, but there are reindeer. So if you want to hear the rest of the story, you're going to have to tune in to my next video. We're going to be going over part 2, and I'm going to be turning myself into a mix between Gerda and Anna. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps me out. And turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. And if you don't come back to watch part 2, I'm going to give you a frozen heart. So I will see you then. And thank you for watching. Bye guys!